reading from the Acts of the Apostles. Peter proceeded to speak to those gathered in the house of Cornelius, saying, "In truth, I see that God shows no partiality. Rather, in every nation, whoever fears him and acts uprightly is acceptable to him. You know the word that he sent to the Israelites, as he proclaimed peace through Jesus Christ, who is Lord of all, what has happened all over Judea, beginning in Galilee after the baptism that John preached, how God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and power. He went about doing good and healing all those oppressed by the devil, for God was with him." The word of the Lord.
Our second reading comes from the Acts of the Apostles. We are celebrating the baptism of the Lord, which is the opening of his public ministry. And the first reading from Isaiah talks about the servant of God who will serve, but filled with the Spirit. And the fruits of his service, coming from the inspiration of the Spirit, are justice, meekness, and a year of favor for the poor. Now, in the second reading, we find Peter giving some sort of a catechesis on Jesus Christ and the ministry of Jesus Christ to Cornelius and the people who were gathered in the house of Cornelius. And it is significant that when talking about the ministry of Jesus, Peter started with the baptism received by Jesus in the Jordan from John the Baptist. So there is a long tradition telling us that the baptism of Jesus in the Jordan by John the Baptist was really the inauguration, the beginning of his public ministry after a long period of what we call the hidden life. Remember, at the age of 12, after being found in the temple, Jesus went with Mary and Joseph to Nazareth. And the gospel is quite silent about what happened or what transpired from the age of 12 to the age of 30. And now, with the baptism in the Jordan, we have Jesus coming to full ministry, public ministry. And it begins with the baptism by John the Baptist. And Saint Peter tells Cornelius and the people listening to him that Jesus was anointed by the Holy Spirit. Very consistent with the vision of Isaiah about the servant of God who will be anointed by the Spirit as he begins to serve. Now, Peter affirms that is Jesus. At the beginning of his ministry, he was baptized, and in his baptism, the Holy Spirit filled him. It was the Spirit of the Lord that came rushing to him, and moved by the Spirit, he is now ready to minister. Now, how does Peter describe in a few words the ministry of a Jesus who is filled with the Holy Spirit? One characteristic is he was anointed with the Holy Spirit and power. The ministry of Jesus had power. But what type of power? This is not brute power. This is not the power that comes with pride. Oh, ha, ha, I am now the barangay captain. I am now the governor. I am now the mayor. That is not the power that accompanied Jesus' ministry. It is the power that comes from the very power of God, the Holy Spirit. And if it is the power of God Himself, the tempest of God called the Holy Spirit, then it must be a different type of power. As Peter continues, he says, he went about doing good works. The power coming from the Spirit enables a servant like Jesus to do good works. Kaya, yung mga hindi gumagawa ng mabuti, hindi yan power from the Spirit. It must be some other type of spirit empowering them. No? But not to do good works, but to do evil. No? Now, aside from doing good works, according to Peter, Jesus, filled with the Spirit, also healed all who were in the grip of the devil. Jesus, filled with the Spirit, did not collaborate with the devil. Jesus, filled with the Spirit, drove the devil away from people who were being impoverished and being curtailed by the evil one. So liberating presence. Now why? According to Peter, God was with him. Oh, this is the meaning of the baptism of Jesus, the inauguration of a new way of serving, filled with the Spirit, and the power that comes with the Spirit, the power to do good, the power to heal, because God is with the one who serves. Sana naman, malapit ng eleksyon, sana naman mga Spirit-filled ang mai-inaugurate na ating mga servants. Sana dumaan sila sa baptism of the Spirit at hindi kung ano-anong spirito.